Welcome to the UGC series of lectures in zoology. Today we shall be discussing about the helminths. The helminths are the worms which are of different types, and they may belong to Platyhelminthes, Nematohelminthes, and these are of different types. Some are flat, small, some are flat and large, segmented, while as some are cylindroid worms. We have seen that the small, accordingly we divide them into different classes like Tremadota, Cestoda, and Nematoda. These trematodes, of course, are small worms which are flattened in shape and may be oval, may be lanceolate, or of different shapes. But in cestodes we are having a larger body, the head, the neck, the cetrobula, which the trematodes don't have. And while in the Nematohelminthes, which contains nematoda, those are the cylindroid worms such as ascaris. Now, among the trematodes, we come across such type of parasites which are found sometimes externally and most of them internally. And the internal parasites, they belong to Digenea. They are having the intermediate host, while as Monogenea, the other subclass they are having a single host. In Digenea, we come across with the intermediate hosts generally comprising of a snail, and then there may be a fish, there may be grass or some other animal. Some of these, we see that they live mostly in the digestive tract or associated glands. Some may live here and there in other parts of the body. And besides these, we see that there are certain trematodes which live in as blood parasites. And these blood parasites, they go through our systems, reach the blood vascular system, and then settle in some venules at different parts of the body. Among these, we take the example of Schistosoma. The genus Schistosoma comprises of such types of trematodes, where we are having that the animals, male and female, both live in a copula. They are always in a copula. The male is having the gynophoric canal. This gynophoric canal of male lives the female. The female is a bit cylindroid and lives in this gynophoric canal, and it is having small suckers, while as the male is having larger suckers, as you see here. And this, so they live in a copula and have different shape and sizes. They lay their eggs in the pulpa when they live in the venules, in different types of venules, and in different types of the body, maybe in the intestines, maybe in the bladder. So once they lay the eggs, these come out along with the urine, or they may come out with the feces, and they lead out their way in the water where they hatch out. So taking the case of one such worm as Schistosoma haematobium. The Schistosoma haematobium, although these are found in the tropical countries, Africa, they live in the venules near the urinary bladder, in the intestines, and they lay their eggs, which are passed out through the urine. This infested urine, while in water, these hatch out and form the miracidia. These miracidia, they start swimming, and they come, after swimming, they come in touch with some snail. And so, and where they enter the body of the snail, they divide here into sporocysts. After this, into Lophophorus cercaria. They are having a definite tail. By virtue of this, they are known as Lophophorus cercaria. These cercaria, when they come out, this snail, they swim in water and find the final host, while a man goes in water, in such infested water, they penetrate through the skin of the human being. They penetrate into the body, into the skin, and reach the system, circulatory system. So in this, they are taken to the heart, then the lungs, and then ultimately they come down to the vessels of the intestines, where they lodge themselves near the colon or the rectum. While they settle down, there is the fibrosis of these tissues. They form small pockets for laying the eggs. These eggs are laid in some small pockets. So after that, these eggs come out along through the urinary bladder into the urine, and this way they complete their life cycle. While they come, they lodge this, they may form the inflammation of various tissues, and while circulation, they may lodge in different organs and may cause inflammation of the tissues of those organs. But mainly, they are found surrounding urinary bladder in the intestines or the colon part. Now, this is one type, Schistosoma haematobium. We are having some other types of schistosoma, like Schistosoma japonicum and Schistosoma mansoni. Schistosoma japonicum is limited to Japan and some Sino countries like China, wherein they are having they live in the intestines of man. So they lodge the intestinal tissue, they enter the mucosa, they lay their eggs there. These eggs they are having the spines of different types by which they can be identified which type of schistosoma they are. After lodging themselves in the intestines, they go on producing the eggs. These eggs come out along with the feces and come out, they come in water, develop into miracidia. And these miracidia come in contact with the Oncomelania and different species of this snail, where they develop into sporocystis, and sporocystis give rise to cercaria again. These cercaria, ultimately, they swim in water, and once they come in contact with the human skin who is in water, they penetrate through their tissues. Thus, once they enter into the body, with the help of their cystolytic glands, they penetrate themselves, and then they cause dermatitis at that spot, and some rings are formed with the itching trouble, and then these enter the circulation and are taken to the heart, wherefrom they are taken to lungs, and then they go to different systems, and ultimately they settle down in the large intestines, the part of the colon, and start a copulation there. This copula then produces eggs, and these eggs then are put in some pocket-like structures. While they are in larger number, a man suffers that it may develop a pot-bellied structure, or the inflammation, what you call intestine of the belly. A large bellied structure you will find there because of their presence in the intestines, because they go into circulation and then they settle down there. They also affect the system. They may, there are the diarrhea is there, dysentery is there, and then the man suffers from various nervous troubles because of its presence. And there several disorders have been found associated with the Schistosoma japonicum. And then we are having then they lay the eggs, and ultimately they mature, the male and female, they copulate, produce the eggs, which are passed down through the large intestines along with the feces, and this way the life cycle gets completed. Another such worm, Schistosoma mansoni. This is another blood parasite of the same type, although they are having this structurally they are similar, but they have the different morphological characteristics. They may be small in nature, and then they also remain in copula, in mainly in the intestines. They hatch out the cercaria. They develop into male and the female. And after developing, they live in a copula. They produce eggs there. These eggs, when produced, they form small pockets there. And in these pockets, you will find are larger these eggs. By their presence, we see man suffers from inflammation of the tissues surrounding them and develops a large pouch-like belly, and because they are large inside. So this is another type, Schistosoma mansoni. So we are having the three types of these Schistosoma: Schistosoma haematobium, Schistosoma japonicum, and Schistosoma mansoni. These are the blood parasites belonging to Tremadota. And besides, we are having other parasites of Tremadota, which lodge the intestines, which may lodge the bile ducts, and which may lodge liver of man and other animals. They are having different types of bodies. They are having different types of structures, and they may the attachment organs are mainly in the form of these suckers. Now, besides these, we are having some trematodes which live externally. Mostly we find on the fishes, they are attached to their gills, and these belong to monogenia. The monogenetic trematodes, they are having a simple body, but their attachment organs are in the form of hooks, and they attach themselves to these to different parts of the body, mainly these gills. And while attaching themselves, they cause damage to the tissues, where we find fibrosis, inflammation of the tissues. They hamper the take up of the respiratory gases, and their life cycle is very simple. They produce the eggs. The eggs produce what you call as the miracidia. These miracidia, they come directly, they develop, and they come in contact again with the fish. They develop there into adults while they come in contact with the fish. So they are having a single host. They are not having two hosts. While as in Digenea, we are having two or more intermediate hosts. With this, we come to the conclusion of today's lecture. Thank you.